Growing up, David had always dreamed of becoming a successful businessman. He was a determined young boy with a heart full of ambition and a head full of big ideas. But his family was poor, and his parents could barely afford to put food on the table, let alone send him to college. Despite these challenges, David refused to give up on his dreams. He worked hard in school, and he saved every penny he could. When he graduated high school, he took a job as a delivery driver for a local pizza place, determined to earn enough money to pay for college. Years went by, and David worked tirelessly to save up enough money for tuition. Finally, he was able to enroll in a business program at a local community college. He excelled in his classes, and his professors recognized his potential. One day, a guest speaker came to David's class to talk about entrepreneurship. The speaker was a successful businessman who had started his own company from scratch, and David was in awe of him. He stayed after class to talk to the speaker, and the two struck up a conversation. The businessman saw something in David that reminded him of himself when he was young. He offered to mentor David and help him start his own business. David was thrilled, and he eagerly accepted the offer. Together, they worked on a business plan, and David poured all of his heart and soul into the project. He worked long hours, sacrificing time with his family and friends, but he knew that it would all be worth it in the end. Finally, the day came when David's company launched. He had created an online marketplace for small businesses to sell their products, and it was a huge success. People all over the world were using the platform, and David's business was growing faster than he ever could have imagined. But as he became more successful, David realized that he was losing sight of what was important. He had become so consumed with his work that he had neglected his family and friends. He had missed birthdays, weddings, and holidays, and he knew that he had to make a change. He decided to take a step back from the business and spend more time with his loved ones. He made a point to call his parents every day, and he started attending family gatherings and events. But just as he was getting his life back on track, disaster struck. A group of hackers had targeted David's company, and they had stolen sensitive information from the platform. The media was all over the story, and David's reputation was on the line. He worked tirelessly to fix the problem, but it seemed like everything he did was just making things worse. He couldn't sleep, he couldn't eat, and he felt like he was on the verge of a breakdown. But then, something incredible happened. One of David's former professors reached out to him, offering to help. The professor was an expert in cybersecurity, and he knew how to fix the problem. David was overwhelmed with gratitude, and he accepted the offer. Together, David and the professor worked tirelessly to fix the security issue. They spent countless hours combing through code, and they finally discovered the source of the hack. They were able to fix the problem and restore the platform to its original state. The media had a field day with the story, but this time, they were reporting on David's triumph rather than his downfall. People all over the world were inspired by his resilience and determination, and they saw him as a hero. David's business continued to grow, but he never lost sight of what was important. He made time for his family and friends, and he used his success to help others. He started a scholarship program for underprivileged students, and he donated a portion of his profits to charity. Looking back on his journey, David couldn't believe how far he had come. From a young boy with a dream to a successful businessman, he had overcome incredible obstacles and achieved his goals. But he knew that his success wasn't just about him. It was about the people who had supported him along the way, his parents, his mentors, his professors, and his friends. Without their love, guidance, and encouragement, he never would have made it to where he was today. David made a promise to himself to always remember where he came from and to use his success to give back to others. He knew that he had a responsibility to use his platform for good, and he was determined to make a positive impact on the world. As he sat in his office, surrounded by awards and accolades, David felt a sense of peace and fulfillment that he had never experienced before. He had achieved his dream, but more importantly, he had created a life that was full of meaning and purpose. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, feeling grateful for everything that had led him to this moment. He knew that there would be challenges and setbacks along the way, but he was ready for whatever lay ahead. With a smile on his face, David stood up from his desk and walked out of the office, ready to face whatever the future held. He had come too far and worked too hard to let anything stand in his way, and he was determined to keep chasing his dreams for as long as he lived.